Country music singer-songwriter Paige King Johnson oozes confidence with the release of her latest single, Baby Don't. Johnson's strong vocals soar on this lively tune as the lyrics are both charming and assertive. She sings of a feeling some of us are all too familiar with, knowing we are on the brink of falling in love quickly with every little thing they do drawing us closer. Johnson brings the energy and attitude to the release of this relatable song that will have listeners singing along to every word. Baby Don't is now included in Tidal's Rising Country playlist and was premiered on Wide Open Country and is available to download and stream on all digital platforms. So with that, let's welcome country singing sensation, Paige King Johnson. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I think there's a lot been going on since the last time we talked. So what's been going on since then?
I have been like living my life on the highway. I feel like Willie Nelson's song because I have been so busy, thank the Lord, playing shows and being out and meeting some new people and seeing some new places. And it has just been a crazy time since we talked last. And I'm grateful for every bit of it. And then throwing a new song in the mix and being able to celebrate all of that and get some really good excitement around that. It's just been a crazy few months, but it's been a lot of fun.
Now, did you get married?
Not yet. I'm getting married next spring.
Hey, all right. So 2022.
Yes, it's going to be a crazy year, and we are accepting all the prayers.
So how do you work planning for a wedding and touring at the same time, as well as possibly recording even more new songs?
It's crazy. Sometimes wonder if I just really hate myself that much that I did all of this together. But it's been really cool, and I'm such a person that I'm very task oriented, but I also find that I thrive whenever I have multiple different things to work on. And so it's been a nice balance to be able to have different projects that are so, uh, they require so many different skill sets and different things to focus on. So it's been a good thing.
Well, I will tell you this, your song, Just Like Me, is one of my favorites of 2021. And I say that honestly and sincerely. I don't say that to everybody. And because the song is so catchy that you do catch yourself singing along with it. And now you have released Baby Don't. So with that, you went from what I would call soft and sultry to a woman with a hard driving attitude. So it's definitely in the vein of Miranda Lambert. So how did Baby Don't come about?
Well, this is actually the first song that I've recorded that I wasn't a writer on myself. All my previous songs that I've released have been songs that have really like come from me. And this song was sent to me by my sweet friend and mentor, Miss Pam Tillis. And she knew I was kind of working on some new music towards the middle of this year. And this song came across her lap and she sent it to me. And she calls and goes, Paige, I just sent you this song. You need to listen to it. It sounds exactly like you. And if you don't record it, you're crazy. And so I said, okay, well, maybe I should listen to you, Miss Pam Tillis. And so I did, and I fell in love with the song at first. And it just felt like that missing piece of me as an artist that I was kind of writing for and looking for. And then I found out that it was written by three of my heroes in Nashville songwriting with Lori McKenna and Liz Rose and Hillary Lindsay. And so that just put the icing on the cake for me. And we took it into the studio and put a little PKJ twist on it. And we had a lot of fun with it.
You know, it's funny that you said Pam Tillis because as I hear you singing the song in my head, I can hear Pam Tillis actually doing that song. So
You're
I
not
can,
the first person to tell me
and
that.
and I may not be the first person to say this. I think it'd be almost kind of cool to do a duet version with Pam Tillis on this song.
I need to call her up and tell her that.
Yeah, I
I
think it would
do.
be great. I think it would be great because I can, you did the song. I mean, this is your song. I mean, and I love the transition from your last single to this one because I do like that hard driving attitude type sound, and it fits you very, very well. And you kind of alluded to the fact that it was kind of the song that kind of, I guess moved you in not in a completely different direction, but maybe with this type of song being a little bit more different than the others that you've done.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, this was a whole different sound that I hadn't kind of tapped into as an artist, and I pride myself on being the daughter of classic country music, and I love all of those things. And so we were really careful when we were in the studio of trying to bring in very modern sounds that this song has, but also preserving those, classic country roots within the song. So that's why we threw the banjo in there, and there's some mandolin in there, and there's a lot of really rich guitars in there that really are the base of this song, and kind of was a good, perfect mix of two different worlds that were colliding together. To bring the modernness into a classic country feel.
Well, then let me ask you this because I recently just had that same conversation with another artist. And for you, you're going into the studio to record a song. And most likely in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I want this to be traditional country.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're in the studio, and with the way country music is today, it's riding that line between, well, there's actually a dividing line right now between classic traditional country and then more of the country pop sound that we're getting a lot of. To me, maybe a little bit too much of. But when you're in the studio, is it kind of hard to know that in the country music industry, one side you can hear what country really is, and then you're hearing what all of the bean counters are pumping out over the radio, but you're in the studio trying to create a great song. So with Baby Don't, was it trying to pull back the reins to not go too modern with it?
Yeah, most definitely. I think every time any artist goes into the studio, there's a fine line that you walk between, okay, how do I make this exactly how I envision it in my brain? And go completely crazy with it and try out all these different things just to appease my artistic side. And then how do I bring in these elements of commercial country stuff that's playing on the radio that people love to listen to and that they reach for to listen to every single day. And so I think with every song, but especially with this song, because this was the closest to that, very commercial sounding country song that I'd ever done before. And so it took a lot. And there were a lot of times I was, sitting in the studio with my producer, Bill McDermott, and Pam was sitting right there next to me. And, she would throw out an idea of like, what if we did this and, add this thing? And I'd have to look at her. I'm like, Pam, that's way too, close to the pop line for me. That's not me. And then I would sit there and I would say, what if we did this? And it was a very earthy thing. And Pam would look at me and say, Paige, this has to be something for radio. And so there's always this push and pull. And that's the beauty of, creating art and being able to be an artist is that you're constantly kind of toying around with things, and everything is a very fluid project that is worked on by so many different people. And putting all those hands and those minds together, you come out with this perfect little song.
Well, kind of, Paige, give all of my viewers and listeners kind of an inside look of what it's like to be an artist, and you're pitched a song that you didn't write. So you're pitched a song. Does that song come to you? Because a lot of my viewers and listeners have no clue how this works. Does it come to you as sheet music, or does it come to you via USB nowadays to just listen to the songwriter singing the song so you kind of know how the song goes? Or are you literally just holding the words and maybe coming up with the tune yourself?
So for me, and I know, everybody's experience is different and songs get to artists in a number of ways. But for me, I was sent the song through text message from Pam. And I think it came to her, it was emailed to her, she was reaching out to some people on my behalf and trying to see what songs they had out there. And so that's the way, and I had no words in front of me. It was strictly just sitting down, okay, like turn my brain off and listen to this for the first time with fresh ears. And trying to be receptive to it. And the second that I heard on the what's called a work tape, which was what was sent to me, and that was made the day that the writers wrote the song. I immediately heard Hillary Lindsay's voice, her rich voice on there, and I was like, okay, 3 words in, I was already sold on the song.
Wow. Wow. And I guess you're probably also pitched songs to where the moment you listen to them, you're like, nah, I'm not doing that one.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to be in touch with yourself as an artist and as a songwriter. Um, and with me being a songwriter, I know what I would say in a song. And so I can listen to songs very quickly and say, that's not how I would approach that topic or that conversation or whatever. And it can quickly be turned off for me.
Well, I'm going to ask you a strange question because if you're pitched a song and it's a song that, maybe like they said, they text it to you, you can hear it on your phone. But if you've been listening to Metallica all day and then you said, listen to it with fresh ears, do you have to kind of pull away from maybe music you've been listening to on the radio or, through Spotify or whatever, and then sit down, clear your mind before you listen to a song to get the essence of it before you make a decision about it?
Absolutely, 100%. You have to come to it, without sounding so granola-y. You have to come to it with an open mind, and be receptive to whatever the song's message is going to be, or the melody and how it's going to hit you, or how the words are going to hit you. And so uh, that day, whenever she had texted me, she said, I have this song I want you to hear, and she sent it to you. I immediately, I had to go around the house. I'm like, okay, shut everything that's making noise off. Shut it. And okay, it's like when you're smelling perfume and you have to smell the coffee beans to cleanse everything before, before you start smelling it again. That's what you have to do in a musical sense.
Well, yeah, and I guess you're right because, well, yeah, it just makes sense because you don't want anything influencing what you had been listening to influence your thoughts on something that got pitched to you. And it was so funny because Pam Tillis said something very important within that, within the studio to you, which she said, Paige, this has to be for radio. And people don't really understand what that really means because that's what you really want. I always laugh when an artist has done very well. Let's say they had massive mega hits on their first 2 albums, and then they have the attitude is, now I'm going to produce the album I really want, and nobody buys it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, be wise because you want it on the radio. That's what keeps your career going.
Yeah. And it's a hard place to be in as an artist too, because you're constantly being influenced by things, and you have all these different ideas for how you want your music to sound. And obviously, me being a young artist, it's like, okay, right now I'm paving the way for whatever my legacy is going to be as an artist, 20 years down the road, hopefully. And um, and so you're like, okay, well, my number one songwriter influence is Lori McKenna, and I could sit down and listen to her albums that just make you want to break a heart. I mean, they just hit you in your gut. And if I could write every day and write songs like that and release them and know that there was a whole audience there that would receive those and continue to go back to them, I would do it in a heartbeat, because those are the songs to me that have such a deeper meaning to them, and they stick with you, and they are things that you want to keep going back to. But I know not every listener is like that, and some people want a song that they can tailgate to, and some people want a song that they can sit down and cry to, and some people want a song that they can go and smash their boyfriend's truck to. There's all kinds of different things that you're writing other people's stories when you're sitting down to write. And so it's a fun thing that's my job, but it can be frustrating sometimes because it's not necessarily what you want to say in that time. But it
Yeah.
changes.
And it's funny you bring that up because just a few days ago, it was probably as early as last week, and because I listen to so much music because of all the people that I interview. But what I miss in country music is the sad song. We don't have enough. I know this is really going to sound kind of crazy. We don't have enough of them at the moment. Everything is all up and great and having fun, which is cool, and we need the great mix. But there's some of the sad songs are missing, and it was kind of funny. I think way back when Vince Gill had his debut album, and everybody went nuts. His father asked him, he goes, "Son, are you having a problem in your marriage?" Because all the songs were sad.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of funny, but then I got to thinking about that. I'm like, I can't name one sad song on the radio right now. And it's kind of like Keith Urban. Keith Urban made these great heartfelt songs, and the moment he got married, everything was all happy. And I'm like, dude, what happened? you where's Raining on Sunday at? Probably have to go get Radney Foster to write another song. But
right?
Yeah, so I think the sad songs are missing. I think we need more of Baby Don't out there. And of course, hey, nothing like a girlfriend mad at her boyfriend song either. Those always work.
They do, because it's real.
It is real. And the thing is when people who, like Pam said, you want it for radio, and everybody who listens to radio are wanting to identify a song that goes along with what they're feeling or what the situation is at that very moment. And that's what makes music a memory. And Paige, wow, again, Baby Don't, I will have to say this because I mean it with all my heart. You have a hit on your hands. And where can all of my viewers and listeners get Baby Don't?
It's available anywhere you listen to music. So Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music. It's on Tidal as well. And there's a lyric video for it on my YouTube channel. All over the place. You can hear it everywhere. You can just have it playing 24/7.
Hey, I love that. And again, give us your website very quickly so that everybody can learn more about Paige King Johnson.
Yeah, my website is real easy. It's just paigekingjohnson.com. And it has all my tour dates on there. And there's a merch shop in there where you can get some goodies for you if you're doing some Christmas shopping and see everything.
Hey, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for you to sit back, take a listen to the hottest hit in country music, Paige King Johnson and her new hit single, Baby Don't. And we'll be right back after the song.
Baby, don't pull the cork from the bottle if you don't wanna talk, wanna kiss, wanna find out, baby, what it is. What's going on in this room? All the chemistry between me and you. Baby, don't let me linger any longer if you don't want me to fall like a domino, like a sunset sinking down in Mexico. Like a drop of rain when the thunder rolls, like a cowboy riding in a rodeo. Baby, don't. Oh no, don't. Baby, don't look at me that way, baby. If you don't want me to stop, want me to stare, don't you lean in closer, it ain't fair. Baby, don't. No, baby, if you don't want me to fall like a domino, like a sunset sinking down in Mexico. Like a drop of rain when the thunder rolls, like a cowboy riding in a rodeo. Baby, don't. Oh no, baby, don't. Don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it. with the words you say. Don't pour the wine, turn the lights down low. Don't, baby, don't if you don't.